Blessings everyone, it's Angel. Today I woke up early enough to see the sunrise. It's not really something that I enjoy watching if I am staying up all night, but I do enjoy it first thing in the morning if I wake up after a good night's rest. So every morning without fail, I like to open my window really wide and take in the scenery, even if it's cold or raining. I love the feeling of the cool fresh air on my face first thing in the morning. I'm lucky enough to see the entirety of London from my bedroom window, which faces east, and I never take it for granted. Then every morning I wash my face with cold water and apply some rosehip oil to my face, neck and chest. I use this every day and night, and it's the only skincare I do. I used to have a proper skincare routine in my 20s, and I probably should start thinking about doing that again. Then I make my morning coffee black with 2 sugars, and I like to begin the day by journaling. I started doing this in the summer, and I intend to keep up the habit as I find it really helps to clear my mind of any lingering thoughts from the night before.
Buddhist Foundation in Taiwan, along with 2 senior monks from the same foundation. Then, to avoid accidentally influencing the control bottles of water, which were located in the same room as the treated bottles, they added, "This enchantment," referring to the blessed bottles, "is only for this batch of water."
I also got into the habit of doing about 20 minutes of yoga, followed by like an hour or so of working out in the spring as part of my plan to strengthen my back, since it can be prone to injury. But I've lately fallen out of that habit, so I'm just doing some basic stretches here and a very quick upper body workout. But I do intend to get back into my full routine before the winter. Then I have my protein shake. This is the vegan vanilla shake by Free Soul, which is delicious. It tastes just like a milkshake. I really enjoy it. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if it's your first time here. I thought I would do a vlog today, since I haven't done one in a while, or maybe ever on this channel, I don't know. I did a bit of work, and then in the afternoon I had to go to the store to pick up a few things. I've really been enjoying the weather in London lately. It feels like a true autumn since it's not too cold yet. Usually we go from summer to almost like straight into winter, but this year autumn actually feels really nice. So I went to Waitrose and I wanted to get some bananas because my mom was making banana cake and it's really nice, so I wanted her to make some more. Then I picked up some mangoes, and then I also found this vegan panettone, and I've not had panettone since I became vegan, so that was very exciting. I didn't get it though since it's not Christmas yet, and that's very much a Christmas thing. Instead I got this muesli, which was okay. It wasn't great, but this was great. This vegan chocolate spread. And then I got some smashed avocado and my favorite yogurt, which is this Noosh brand. Oh, I also got some ciabatta rolls. Guys, while I was out, something very exciting arrived, and I'm going to show you what it is. I'm supposed to be doing the podcast, but I think that might have to wait till a little bit later because I'm so excited for this. I cannot believe I don't already have a copy of this. It's quite thin, so it's something that I'm going to be able to get through like within a couple of hours, though I do like to make notes and stuff. The majority of my witchy books right now are on the Kindle, for a few reasons. First of all, it's extremely affordable to get these books on the Kindle compared to the paper version. Number 2, it's instant access. And number 3, I can bring my library with me pretty much everywhere because I have the Kindle app on my phone, and I have a physical Kindle, and then I have my iPad as well, and then obviously the app on my laptop too. But I am currently in the process, I don't have this on the Kindle, but I'm in the process of repurchasing everything as a paper version because I do not trust the Kindle. I already knew from my own personal experience from a few years back when I sent my boyfriend a copy of Linda Goodman's Love Signs book, and it was a physical copy, and I sent it to him, and I have it on the Kindle, and we went through it together on FaceTime, and we were reading something, and we realized that they changed some of the words. So the wording has been changed. It has been changed to be more modern. So I think we were reading something about Virgo woman, and my digital Kindle copy says woman, but his paperback version says girl. And I know it's such a minor thing. It's been changed because in modern times, you know, women prefer to be called women and don't like to be called girl. I'm not like that. I like to be called a girl. I think there's nothing wrong with it. And like, you know, if you watch old movies from like the 50s and 60s, you know, a guy will be like, yeah, this is my girl, or I'm seeing this girl. And he could literally be talking about a 50-year-old woman, you know, and it wasn't seen as offensive or anything. And I don't find it offensive. I like to be called a girl. So that's just a minor thing. But then I watched a video recently of someone saying that the book 1984 has been completely removed from the Kindle, and this was a few years back, and but I only watched the video recently. It makes you realize how much power they have, and you know, buying a book on the Kindle doesn't mean you're not actually buying the book. You're purchasing a license to download and read the book until they say, that's it, we don't you know, want to have this in our library anymore. And in the comments of that video, I saw one girl or woman say that, or a guy, I don't know who it was actually, but they said that their mother had a really quite an extensive library on the Kindle, and for some reason one day her account just got shut down, and that was it. Her entire library just gone, just like that. And so, though I love the convenience of it, especially for novels, because I'm not a big collector of novels, though I do like to read them, and I feel like a Kindle is great for that because it's super thin. This is mine. Currently reading this horror, Joe Hill's The Prom. I thought it was fitting for Halloween and Samhain, so I have this Kindle right here. I actually got this, I think it was like March or April, and I did have my suspicions that they were going to come out with a color Kindle, and they recently announced it like a week ago. But it's fine because everything I read is just like this, and the manga that I read is usually in black and white anyway, so it's fine. So, you know, it's thin, it's portable, it's great, you can access books immediately, so I do love it for things like that. But when it comes to reference books, I don't like it for the fact that it's harder to make notes. Apparently it's easier to make notes on the laptop with a Kindle, but I like to kind of flick back and forth and, like, you know, bookmark things and be able to access things very easily on reference type books. So all of my astrology books are back here. They're all paper versions. And yeah, so all of my witchy books that are on my Kindle, I'm currently saving up to purchase them as paper versions, which is going to be kind of pricey because they can be up to 4 times more on the paper version, or 5 times more. But yeah, so I've just stopped buying, or I'm going to stop buying witchy books on the Kindle now, unless I really want it immediately, like if it's a ritual or a spell book that I want to use that day or the next day. But very excited for this, so I'm going to go through this and read it. I'm probably make some notes, highlights, and annotate it as we go along. I do have work to do, but I'm just so excited for this, and it's quite thin, so I think it will be, I'll have time. It's only like 6 right now, I think. Magic is the highest, most absolute, and most divine knowledge of natural philosophy, advanced in its works and wonderful operations by a right understanding of the inward and occult virtue of things, so that true agents being applied to proper patience, strange and admirable effects will thereby be produced. I stopped to make a cup of tea. I have an Earl Grey tea here in my Game Boy mug, but then when I was in the kitchen, I was like, well, I'm kind of hungry, so I'm just going to have a break. I just had this small ciabatta on this witching mug plate, and then I also got some olives as well, and the face tracking is on, which is kind of annoying. So some olives. And so I'm just gonna have a quick break. I'll watch like a video or something, and then I will get back to this. I don't know how I'm gonna be able to like put this down and do some actual work tonight. It is coming up to 8 p.m. now, and it's just so fascinating. And I grabbed a spare notebook. This is a Stalogy. This is an A5 Stalogy, which I haven't used yet, and I think I'm going to use it to write more extensive notes, because I stopped and used my phone to like research a few things that I didn't really know about. And so I want to actually dive a bit deeper into those topics and people and philosophers that I mentioned in here. And so I'm going to do that as well. So it's going to take me a while, but it's just so interesting. So I studied for a couple of hours, and then I had to put the book down and do some work. So here I am writing out the podcast for my Demoji World channel. And then after that, I was kind of in the middle of a very long ritual that was going over multiple days, multiple weeks. So I did that. And when I finished, I had to wait until the candle stopped flickering. So the purpose of the candle is because the ritual that I'm doing involves calling in some entities, and I use the candle's flame to kind of gauge whether there is presence around me. And as you can see, this is what happens. It flickers like crazy. There is no window open or anything, so I just kind of sit here until they leave, which sometimes takes a while. This particular night, I think I sat there for like 4 minutes waiting for the candle flame to stop flickering, but eventually it did. I started the day by writing it in my Sabbath planner and journal. This is one that I created myself. It's available on Amazon worldwide, or you can pick up the digital copy on my website, Persephone's Boutique. I answered one of the Samhain intention journaling prompt questions, which was, how can I honor and connect with my ancestors during this time? So this is what I wrote. Mum and I cut some stems off of Papa's tree this season. Mum is going to use some of the bay leaves for cooking. I'm saving a sprig in my room for spell work and ritual. Bay leaves are wonderful for magic and manifestation, so I intend to use some for casting wishes, some for ritual, and some for decoration. I might also attempt to make my own small bay plant using the branch. I'll take Mum to a garden centre so we can buy some pots and soil. This is a lovely way to honor Papa and also honor Mum at the same time by spending some quality time with her. I'll have Talim help with the planting as well. Herein then consists the reality of the operations and effects of ceremonial magic, and I conceive that the apology is ample, so far as the effects refer only to those phenomena which appear to the magician himself, the appearance of the spirit, his conversation, possible shocks from imprudence, and so on, even to ecstasy on one hand and death or madness on the other. But can any of the effects described in this our book Goetia be obtained? And if so, can you give a rational explanation of the circumstances? Say you so? I can, and I will. The spirits of Goetia are portions of the human brain. I continued to study for a few more hours because it was just so much fun. I just find this type of thing absolutely fascinating. And I got my notebook out and I just started researching all of the random things that came up in this book, including things like they mentioned a couple of philosophers who I'd heard of but didn't really know much about, so I just did a bit of research. into them and wrote it down. I took this as an opportunity not just to learn the contents of the book, but also just to improve my general knowledge as well. For example, there was one word, lamen, Lamen. This is a word that originates from the Latin lamina, meaning thin plate or thin piece of metal. Essentially, what this means is it's kind of a medallion or a piece of jewelry where there is a sigil or a seal etched into it. And the purpose of this is to be worn around the neck, over the heart or the solar plexus area. And the seal or sigil is supposed to be representative of the entity or the spirit or demon that you're working with. I went off on a tangent and I just started comparing them to a talisman and amulet, which, of course, I'm sure you guys watching this know that they're completely different, but essentially a lamen is used in ritual magic to invoke, connect with, or control spiritual entities. So it's more ceremonial and often worn as part of invoking or working with a spirit. A talisman is created to attract desired energies or achieve a specific outcome. It can be worn or carried to manifest the influence, typically for personal or situational gains. And of course, an amulet is worn or carried for protection against harm or negative influences. And it's primarily, a defensive object designed to repel unwanted forces or bad luck. I've been going to bed really early lately, like 10:30, which is quite early for me. It's currently 3:30 in the morning, so I have been studying and reading this whole time up until about 2 a.m. And the whole time I was like constantly looking at at the time, thinking it's late, I need to go to bed soon, but for some reason I just kept going. And then at just before 2 a.m., I put my book away. I closed my book, closed my notebook, and the moment I closed it, I heard an alarm. And then I went out to the hallway and it got louder, so I went to look in the kitchen and it was the carbon monoxide alarm. Now, we've had the old carbon monoxide alarm went off a few months ago, but it was a faulty alarm. This time, I called the engineer and they did detect carbon monoxide, so that was pretty scary. I didn't even think to vlog because when I get quite scared and anxious, I don't feel like vlogging. But the guy came maybe 40 minutes ago and he checked it and there was carbon monoxide in the boiler, and so that's been switched off, so we don't have heating or hot water. I don't have an electric heater. My mum does have one, but I mean, it's not too cold. It's still, October. But I'm going to go in the kitchen. I'm going to brave it. It's been a while now and everything's switched off and he didn't detect anything before he left. So I'm going to go and make a hot water bottle because I'm leaving my windows open in my bedroom. But yeah, it's crazy because, like, as you guys know, the book that I was reading and annotating was the Goetia, and like I've worked with these entities, these spirits, for many years, and I always genuinely feel like they've got my back. I've been going to bed really early, and for some reason I just stayed up, and that was why, because I don't know if I would have heard. It was pretty loud, but it's in the kitchen, so there's the kitchen door, the living room door is always open, and then there's my bedroom door. So I guess it would have depended on how deep a sleep I was in, but yeah, make sure you have a carbon monoxide detector, guys. I actually have two in the kitchen. One of them didn't go off, and that's one that I just bought myself off Amazon just to have a backup one. So I don't know why that didn't go off. Once they fix it, I'm probably going to put that one on top of the boiler because the gas goes up and then it spreads and then it starts to drop down. But the one that they installed is quite high up. And I might even get a third one because it's pretty scary because it's got no scent. But yeah, the guy was like, yeah, you're fine. It was trace amounts. even when he did like turn everything on. But everything's turned off now. The alarm isn't making any noise, and it's a new one. They just gave us the new one recently. But yeah, scary, guys. The Demoji World Myth and Magic podcast for this episode, which was supposed to be released on the 21st. Today is actually the 24th, so I'm going to try and record this today. Demoji hails from the depths of the underworld, more specifically from the 7 realms of September, a date that corresponds to August 24th, 1440 in Earth years. Demoji's mother, Seraphina, is a talented seamstress. Nerissa lived next door to Demoji's maternal grandparents, and the two were inseparable from a young age. And right here is the culprit. This is the boiler. It's still not working. Oh, I didn't update you guys. So we're not allowed to use it because they need to replace a part, and the part's not coming till Wednesday. Today is Thursday, so we're going to be without heating and hot water for almost an entire week. So that's annoying. Look at all this banana cake my mum made. Yummy. I'm going to take a few of these. These are tiny. Like, look at the size of my finger. So I'm going to take like 3, I think. I took 4. It's on my little witch's hat plate. And I have a cup of tea. I'm not going to upload this just yet. I will upload it tonight, but I'm going to just enjoy this and watch something, because I still have to write like a description for uploading it. So I'm going to enjoy this and find something to watch very quickly.
สังกิเรสิกาธรรมะอสัง